Yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Ashton Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about should the Dallas Cowboys trade for Raiders wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. So hopping straight into it, I'm making this video on Monday night, and that's when the Eagles had made a move earlier in the day, right around lunchtime, so right around noon, 1 o'clock on the West Coast time, where I received the notification that the Philadelphia Eagles had traded, I think either a fifth or sixth round pick to the Tennessee Titans, and they swapped safeties. Eagles received safety Kevin Byard, the Titans Terrell Edmonds, right? And we already knew that the Eagles were in talks about trading for a safety. Um, they wanted to get Jeremy Chin, safety out of Carolina, who's a really great player, and then they also were thinking about going out and getting another safety as well. But Kevin Byard was a cheaper option because right now it's being reported that the Tennessee Titans are having a fire sale. And really, for a fire sale, really for some of you guys who are new to the trade rumors, fire sale really means that they're trading away all their best players and trying to get all of the trade assets as they can to build their team down the line, because they're in that rebuilding phase. And some rebuilding teams, they want as many draft picks as possible, which every rebuilding team does. But some rebuilding teams, they keep on certain veterans, how long they've been there for the organization and what they've done for the organization. So sometimes they keep them. But if they can get a solid draft pick out of somebody, they would, right? Now with the Eagles wanting to bolster up their offense, their defense, it's time for the Dallas Cowboys to bolster up their offense. I understand we have a lot of things that we need to fix internally in terms of using our playmakers, attacking the middle of the field, utilizing motion more, um, things of that nature. I think we also need help on that defensive side of the football, mainly adding a corner, because you look at these next back half of the season, you're playing a lot of top flight wide receiver rooms. Up next, Sunday you got the Rams versus the Cowboys, and you got Puka Nacua, you got Cooper Kupp who can route you up, and then down the line in December, Christmas Eve, you got to play Philly again. You got to play them twice still. They have really great receivers. You got to go ahead and play the Dolphins, and if they're healthy with Tua, Waddle, and Hill, that's going to be a fireworks show. And then you look at it also at Seattle. Seattle has three really great wide receivers with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. So you're looking at that space right now. The Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, I feel like they need to add a corner. But the reason why I'm talking about adding a receiver is because I feel like with this West Coast scheme, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys need to have a true route runner. Like look at Amari Cooper and what he did for this offense and how great he was when he was healthy and he was contributing out there for the Dallas Cowboys. I've always been missing Amari Cooper, and I'm always trying to, basically get that route runner type of dude back in this room. Now, I know that Brandon Cooks can run routes, and he has really great speed, but right now we're not utilizing that speed. And I feel like, again, internally, we have the pieces in here offensively to make it up. But really, I'm bringing in Hunter Renfrow to replace Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup had about 10 to 12 targets on Monday night last week. And, he only made, out of those 10 targets, he only had, 3 times of those 10 targets he made up for those opportunities. And then you also got to look at it, he dropped 2 touchdowns. He hasn't been the same ever since he gotten paid. It's not his fault, but the Dallas Cowboys, that was more of their problem of, organizational wise, paying a guy who was hurt instead of bringing guys in that was contributing, like Cedric Wilson, keeping Amari Cooper, because you could have kicked money down the line. You could have reworked his deep, done a lot of different things, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. You just didn't make it work out with Amari Cooper. But I think you can be able to go out there and redeem yourself and go out and go get a Hunter Renfrow, because when you look at it, Cole Beasley had one of his best careers with Dak Prescott, and he says that willingly on Twitter. When he talks about some of his playing career and things of that nature, he talks about Dak Prescott was one of the best quarterbacks he's ever played with. Large part and reason why he got big money, also because Cole Beasley did his thing. He did his time in the offseason and everything like that. But hey, he got some of his he basically extended his career because of Dak Prescott and what he did in 2016 by having him a career year with the Dallas Cowboys, that when he finally did leave the Dallas Cowboys in 2018 and he got himself an extended career in 2019 on out with the Buffalo Bills. Cole Beasley was really great. Why? Because he was a route runner. He made a big difference in the slot. And Dak Prescott loves route runners. Ever since that, we saw what Cole Beasley was doing and why Cole Beasley was Dak Prescott's uh, favorited receiver, and that was because he would run routes on a dime. He was always open. He was always consistent. And I feel like if you bring a guy in like Hunter Renfrow, who is highly respected in the league, and if you guys watch the Pivot podcast, Derwin James, when he talks about some of his best route runners and some of his toughest wide receivers to guard, up there for him as Hunter Renfrow. When you see Hunter Renfrow's tape, he is literally unguardable in the slot. And the reason why I also want him in here is because if you can get him in here for like, a cheap draft pick, a day 3 draft pick, bring him in. And, if you got to offload Michael Gallup's contract, you can, because you do have that flexibility. But if the Raiders just want a low draft pick just to get rid of Hunter Renfrow, if you're Dallas Cowboys, bring him in, because that's definitely going to be a guy that, you want to add to this wide receiver room. And, when you play the San Francisco 49ers, or not only the 49ers in the playoffs, when you play teams down the stretch of games, when teams necessarily don't respect you and your play calling offensively, some of your players are going to have to make up for it, because they're going to want to play a lot of man coverage, especially if, again, you're not sending your guys on deep overs, getting your guys open in motion, because I think we're dead last when it comes to motioning our players and trying to create mismatches on that note, right? If we're not doing that and we just want to play mano y mano and trying to have our guys, have Michael Gallup consistently run slant routes when you know that he's not really much of a route runner. And then, not only is he, if he does get open, he's dropping the pass, or when he is getting the ball thrown at him, he's getting mugged, or he's getting completely face guarded by a corner, and you can't really throw to him because the corner's jamming him up at the line. So we're doing a lot of different things that's not, in the favor of Michael Gallup right now. And I think that if we're not going, if he's not going to continue to improve, I think we need to bring in his replacement with Hunter Renfrow. Now, I also know that we can also replace him with guys that are in-house with Jalen Tolbert, which I do think is Jalen Tolbert's season, and I do think we need to incorporate Jalen Tolbert. Am I ready to give up on Michael Gallup? Not necessarily, but if he just keeps playing like this and he's not ready to go, I think it's either give another opportunity to Jalen Tolbert or bring in a guy like Hunter Renfrow, who can make that true difference in the slot. And Dak Prescott will love a true route runner in this offense, especially with the West Coast schemes and you needing to, take a 3-step drop. You look, guys open. I think Hunter Renfrow can tremendously help us in winning now. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.